Hi everyone, how's it going? This is immigration attorney Moumita. Thank you so much. It's Wednesday night. I'm here live. I'm here to answer some questions. First of all, thank you to everyone who's joining me today. Thank you for following me. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for consulting with me, and just thank you overall. It's my pleasure to be here today because I love the work that I do. I love being an immigration lawyer and helping people and trying to help them solve their immigration problems because, as we all know, when you have an immigration issue, it is very, very hard to have a life here. So again, thank you to everyone who joined me today. I have a special topic that I'm going to start this live stream with, and that is if you have a green card that is based, if you have an interview for a green card that is based upon marriage, should you go if your spouse does not want to go with you? So in other words, should you attend your green card interview alone without your spouse, where your application is based upon marriage to a US citizen or to a green card holder? I think if you've been watching me, you might know what I'm going to say. And I would say if your spouse is refusing to cooperate with you, they're saying that they're not going to go to the interview, or they'll show up if they show up, you should contact me right away. You should talk to an attorney who knows what they're doing, who will care, and who will help you through your problems, okay? And here's the important part. If you show up to your interview for a green card without your spouse, especially where your case is based upon marriage, then they're going to deny your case. If they deny your case, you will have to start all over again. You may have to file a different application. If you have any other issues, they may actually tell you that you may find yourself in removal if your case gets denied, which doesn't normally happen, but it may be a risk. So if you have an interview coming up for your green card application that is based upon marriage, and your spouse says, no, I'm not going to go with you, or yeah, I'll think about it, don't delay. Talk to an attorney, take immediate action so that your case can be saved and we can file for something else. And, this is something and this is one of my main case types. I have a lot of experience doing this. It is still possible to save your case, to self-petition for a green card without your spouse's help. So that's my topic of the day, and I'll be answering some questions live. So again, thank you to everyone who's joining today. Thank you. I see some of my attorney colleagues here, and I see a lot of my followers. To those who are here for the first time and you haven't seen me before, my name is Moumita Rahman, and I am an immigration lawyer. I'm based in New York, and I work with people all over the US. It doesn't matter to me where you live. I help people everywhere, and we are in the global digital age. Location does not mean a thing, okay? So if you need to talk about your case, you're having an issue and you want to understand what your rights are or what you can do, give me a call. My telephone number is 212-248-7907. And in fact, my assistant, Josue, is standing by to take your call and to book you for an appointment right now, all right? So go ahead and call if you have any issues. And for those who also don't know, one of the things that I deal with primarily are people who need help here because they don't have a legal entry or they have other issues. I don't deal in just the easy, straightforward types of immigration cases. I deal with the hard stuff. I deal with the hard stuff because there are a lot of attorneys who may not understand or may not want to deal with it. So that's what I try to do. If you have a hard issue, give me a call. All right, my first question is on YouTube from Roger Hernandez, who's asking, hello, I had a question. I'm currently waiting for my interview in Juarez. How will NBC notify me, by mail or by email? Also, when I log into CAAC, it says prior date is August 2019. What does this mean? Okay, Roger, thank you for watching and thank you for your question. So if you are waiting for an interview outside the US at the consulate, many of you might be waiting for an interview at Ciudad Juarez or somewhere else. The way that NBC will notify you that your interview has been scheduled is by email. Email is their primary mode of communication. I do believe in some instances they might send you a letter by mail if they have no other way of contacting you, but usually it is by email. Email is the way they tell you that your case has started with NBC. Email is the way they tell you the case number and how to pay the fees. And email is the way they'll tell you that your interview is scheduled. And normally when you receive your interview notice, Roger, your interview will be usually about 1 month or so away. So check your email, make sure you check your spam folder, make sure you save that NBC email as a contact so that you don't miss a thing, okay? I have another question from Monica Hartley, who's asking, what is the most important picture you should bring to your interview? I do live in job. That's why I'm not asking if I have enough. Okay, so if you're going for a marriage-based green card interview and you're going with your spouse, the burden of proof is on you to show that your marriage is real. And the way to do that is with lots of joint documents. And by joint documents, the government wants to see joint tax returns, joint bank statements, joint bills. They basically measure the validity of your marriage through a very old-fashioned tool, which is through joint finances. Then they believe that the more joint finances you have, the more real your marriage must be, as though nothing else matters. But you have to play their game, basically, because this is what they want to see, and you should always do everything that's in your best interest for getting your case approved. So I know that there are a lot of couples out there who don't believe in having a shared bank account, or they want to keep their money separate. That's if you believe that, I agree. I think it's a little bit easier if you join things anyway, but I agree that you can live your life the way that you want. But if you're filing for a green card if you're filing for a green card through marriage, then you should definitely take note and pay attention to the fact that the government is the one in charge of approving your application. The government is the one who will decide to give you a hard time or not, and they like to see joint finances. And then you can bring pictures and things like that. And going back to Monica's question, how many pictures should you bring? Well, how many do you think you should bring? How many pictures do you think will help show and demonstrate to the government that your relationship is real? Some people might bring like one or two, and I would say that's definitely not enough. I always tell my clients, try to get a photo album and put in at least, like anywhere between 50 to 100 pictures. But, sometimes that's enough, sometimes that's not. If you have 100 pictures of the same thing, like you guys posed, in the same way, in front of the same place, that's not going to cut it. You want to show a variety of pictures, a variety of settings. You want to show pictures with family members, especially parents, siblings, and friends, pictures of your reception, pictures of anything that you can think. But the point is you want to show a variety. And having 1,000 pictures is also not a good idea, because it really depends on the quality of pictures that you have. Okay. All right. So Monica, I hope that helps, and thank you for watching. All right. So yeah, you can look up those questions, the fees online. All right, I'm going to answer some questions on TikTok, and thank you to my TikTok followers for watching. All right, so for Marisela is asking how my husband is undocumented, and I'm curious to know, where do I start to get his citizenship? Marisela, thank you for watching. So if your spouse is undocumented, the number one question is, how do they come into the US? If they have a border crossing and they don't have an inspection, then you need to go through different routes, or you need to do a waiver where they leave the US and they, basically it's called the perdón process. They need to get a waiver, and then they would need to leave the US to have an interview outside in their home country. But there are other ways. And the thing is that the majority of attorneys will tell you that, it's not possible to get a green card in the US if you come in with an illegal entry and you're married to a US citizen, because you have to leave. And believe me, I used to be one of those attorneys too, because I didn't, immigration law is so vast and so complicated that it's actually very difficult to know every single thing. And I still don't know every single thing, but I know a lot more now than I did 10 years ago when I started. So I do know that there is a way to get your green card here in the US without having to leave, even if you have an illegal entry. Now, it doesn't apply to everyone's case, which is why you need to have a consultation with an attorney. Happy to go over your case, Marisela, and to see what your husband's situation is and to see if he qualifies. And there are actually several different types of cases where a person can get a green card in the US without having to leave, okay? So you can give me a call, 212-248-7907. I'm going to go back to this question from Emprender America. How much is a marriage green card USCIS fees in total? So if you have a question about fees, the first thing that I will say is you should look online at the government's website. They actually have a tool where you can calculate the fees. So I would say Asesoría de Vistos, go ahead and look online. You can look at USCIS.gov, and they have a great fee calculator that you can plug in all of your information, and they will tell you exactly how much you have to pay. All right. All right. Let's see what other questions I have. So from Jasmine, Yasmin, my mom able to get a green card if she has an 18-year-old daughter and 2 special needs daughters? So if you're looking to get a green card through children, your child needs to be at least 21. Okay, there is a special application that you can do in court if you're in deportation, where you can base it upon a special needs child, or a child who's having some other problems. And they have to be under 21 for that. That's a different type of case that your mom might be eligible for if she's in court. I hope she's not, but if she is, definitely look into that. All right, Jasmine, I hope that helps. All right. So Papaya 1990 is asking, can someone in their 30s apply for DACA? Papaya, I'm not necessarily sure. You have to look at the DACA requirements to see if you're eligible for it. You have to first meet each of those, and age may not matter for that. So check on that. So from Joss, if my parents came here legally and I turned 21, is it possible for me to help them get their residency? So what I would say is that your parents might have available to them a way of getting a green card, even if they came in illegally, if they have a child who's a US citizen and 21 years old. If they're not eligible for that way, then there are actually a couple of other different types of cases that they might be eligible for. Give me a call. I would love to talk to them to see what their case is about and see how I can help. 212-248-7907. I hope that helps, Jess. All right, so from Jemmy Sanchez is asking, my husband was approved the petition and we never got a welcome letter nor email from the visa center. Okay, this is a very common problem. If you're doing processing through the consulate and you know that you have to go outside, pretty much it's a well-known fact that once the first part of your case is approved, you have to wait for the case to move from inside the US to basically outside the US. And the way that you do that is through the National Visa Center. They have to start a case and they have to send you an email. They have to tell you what your new case number is, what the invoices are, and all those things. And it normally takes between, I would say, 30 to 60 days to get that welcome letter. If you still haven't gotten it, then you need to contact USCIS. You need to contact NBC. You might even need to get a senator involved in your case to see what's going on. But it does generally take 30 to 60 days. During COVID-19, it might take a little bit longer, but generally they're catching up right now. So if you've been waiting for more than 2 months, something is amiss and you need to contact them right away, okay? You need to put pressure on them to look into the case, to get them to issue something, all right? But also one more thing that might happen is if you did not, you have to check off a certain box on the application to make sure that the case gets sent to NBC. If you fail to check off that box, then what would happen is you actually have to file a separate application to make sure that the case gets forwarded to NBC, and that takes time and some money, but it is possible, okay? I hope that helps. All right, I'm gonna take some questions from Instagram right now. From Crystal Martinez is asking, my husband came to this country with a visa from Mexico and I'm a US citizen. Can I fix him and his residency? All right, Crystal Martinez, thank you so much for watching. Yes, you can definitely help your husband fix his status. He's very lucky. He has a legal entry with a visa, and that means that he has an inspection and admission into the US. With this, you can actually do the regular green card process, which is called adjustment of status here in the US. This is something that is a huge benefit, and he'll also be able to do things probably just a little bit more quicker. So yes, and you have to make sure he's eligible. Otherwise, feel free to give me a call, Crystal. I would love to help. 212-248-7907. Legally, Alina is asking, what visas are needed for working in the US for a year as a student working abroad in industry? All right, so legally, Alina, I think maybe a good type of visa for you might be a J1. A J1 visa might be good for you. I would look into that. Definitely usually you need to have the job first. So if you're outside the US, you're looking to come here and work here as a student, or in some other sort of internship, something like that, then you will need something that is going to allow you to do that. You cannot do that on a tourist visa. You can't necessarily do that on an F1 visa because you need to be a student first here in the US in a university, and you need to have permission to work. So I hope that helps. All right, so from Joss R. Lara, I'm a DACA recipient planning to apply for advanced parole, and I'm also planning to get married in a year or two with a US citizen. Okay, great. That's great. You can give me a call. Now that DACA is back, There might be a way for you, I don't really know what your information is in terms of how you came into the country or not, but that, again, will dictate what you need to do, all right? I hope that helps. All right. Naseem is saying, thank you for your amazing service. Thank you so much, Naseem. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Attorney Ebony, thank you so much. All right. So let's see what other questions I have. Bear with me, everyone. Okay, so from Casper, can I apply for DACA even if I don't meet one requirement? That's a good question. So here's the thing. You can apply for anything you want. You can apply for anything. The government will gladly take your money even if you don't qualify for that case. All that it means is that you've paid the fee, they've taken the fee, and they're going to deny you if you don't qualify. So even if if you are missing even one eligibility requirement for any sort of application, the whole thing is done. You need to qualify at the time that your application is filed, okay? So yes, Casper, you can apply for DACA even if you don't meet all the eligibility requirements, but what's going to happen is your case is basically going to, you're going to lose your money for that case and it'll get denied. So Papaya is asking, can your significant other stay in the US during the process? Yes, there's a certain process that I am able to do for people if they qualify. It would allow them to stay. They do not need to leave the US for their interview. All right. So I'm 20 years old. I'm scared of renewing my card because I had a ticket in 2015. Does it affect my green card? From Mama. So thank you for your question. If you have a green card and it's a 10-year green card and it is about to expire or it has already expired, what does that mean? Does it mean that you've lost your status? It does not. So Mama, you are still a green card holder, okay? If you have a ticket, if it's a traffic violation, it's probably nothing to worry about. People have had, there are certain types of criminal convictions that might be a problem for you, but generally they don't look at those things when you're renewing your green card. If you're applying for citizenship, that's a different thing. But, if you need any help, give me a call, Mama. I'd be happy to take a look at your case to see if it's something you should worry about or not. All right, 212-248-7907. All right, let's see what else I have. Ruth Castro's asking, what do you think is the best major you can take when going into college for becoming a lawyer in the future? I was a history major. I was a history major back in college, and I love it. I did, I studied a lot about, especially the Southwest and also Middle Eastern history. And it is really crucial to understand, if you want to be an immigration lawyer, you have to understand how the world works. And to me, I'm biased, obviously, because I was a history major, but history to me is the best way to understand what happened in the past so that you can understand what will happen in the future, to understand how countries are made, to understand how governments are formed. And to me, that was the best education to be a lawyer, especially because as a history major, we did tons of writing and reading. Like I wrote papers left and right, and you need to know how to write and read. You need to know how to write well to be a lawyer, and take any sort of course that you can that teaches you how to speak publicly. As you can see, I'm speaking a lot. I speak to people all day long. So from Hattie Chan, my husband was filing the form I-130 and he made a mistake on my date of birth. Is that going to be a problem on my case? Yes, that is definitely going to be a problem on your case. Your husband needs to take action right now to let USCIS know that that was incorrect and he needs to do whatever he can to fix that mistake. From Roxanne Maluto, my brother was born in the Philippines and my mom never petitioned my brother. My mom at that time was a green card holder and later became a US citizen but passed away in 2015. I'm sorry to hear that, Roxanne. Your brother might be eligible to have his case reinstated or something different. You can give us a call if you need some help, okay? All right. Let's see what else I have. All right. Well, that's it. I think I might be out of questions. I don't really see any other questions right now. I'm going to keep scrolling until I find something. Yeah, so anyway, let me know if there's anything else that you want me to talk about. If not, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I thank everyone again for watching and for joining. Thank you for liking my videos and for leaving comments. I really appreciate it. Again, if you have an immigration-related issue, I cannot stress how important it is to talk to a lawyer. a lawyer who practices immigration law, and not just any lawyer, because immigration law is probably the most complicated area of law. Talk to me. You can give me a call, 212-248-7907. Like I said, my assistant Josue is standing by. And I get a lot of questions asked about where I am and can I talk to somebody if they're not where I am. I'm in New York, but I practice federal immigration law. That means that I can talk to you no matter where you are. I will probably be able to help you no matter where you are. There are a few minor things that I may not be able to help with, but the vast majority of cases, I work with people all over the US, okay? The second question that I'm getting these days is, do I speak Spanish? And yo hablo un poco, okay? Yo entiendo más que yo hablo, pero todos los mis asistentes hablan español, okay? So definitely we all, not me, but everyone else who works with me and for me speaks Spanish. I'm learning. Trust me, guys, I'm actually trying my best to become fluent right now for all of you because I think it's important. And even if I can't speak it fluently, I understand a lot of it. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate all of you. I hope you all have a great night. And see you soon.